The government of the British Virgin Islands and the BVI Finance Limited have officially entered into a public-private partnership to develop and promote the financial services industry. The two parties signed a cooperation agreement on March 15, 2017. The agreement outlines the details of the partnership, which represents the final phase of the transition of BVI Finance from a government department to a private company. The agreement was signed by the Premier and the Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, OBE, and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of BVI Finance Limited, Mr. Kenneth Morgan. The following are statements from the Premier and the Chairman of the Board on the occasion of the signing.
I want to thank you all very much for being part of BVI Finance Limited. I know in the BVI we've been saying for many years that there's been a good relationship, a working relationship between the private sector and government. This, in fact, this is something we've been boasting about. But we thought we could take it to we should take it to a new level. And especially since we had a review by McKinsey and determined new direction, so to speak, for financial services, we'll be looking to add more value to what we do here in the British Virgin Islands. It was felt that this, and we recommended that we go the way of having a separate company, which would take on the product development aspect of the financial services. And I understand that it's something that's done in most several other competing jurisdictions, Cayman, Jersey, etc. And to all intents and purposes, it works very well there. And so if something is working well, why not copy it, right? So I just like to say thank you very much for being part of this, and I look forward to your cooperation with government. I, of course, will be following on a regular basis how it's going on, because government is investing a lot annually in the project. I know that there are over 70 companies who have already joined up, and I expect, and I would like to recommend that all the companies in BVI join up, because what we're doing here is not just for the governments, also for the companies as well. Because the more we promote the BVI, more business comes to the BVI, we all benefit, right? Exactly, so we want to do that. And so, again, I want to also thank Ken for being the interim and the first director. Ken has got quite a lot of experience. And so he's the fit person to sort of get dug in and get the program on the move. Ken, I want to thank you. I also want to thank, of course, Kedrick for all the work that you've been doing together with the Financial Service Implementation Unit to get those 10 initiatives, including this, on the way. Thank you so much. Finally, we look forward to working together and seeing the financial services sector go from strength to strength. Thank you.
Today is a significant day for BVI financial services industry. For over 15 years, BVI Finance, formerly known as the International Finance Center, has operated as an arm of the government, albeit with some assistance from the private sector in terms of support on various committees and at roadshows, etc. But today marks a transition to a true partnership, and it comes at a time when the territory faces significant challenges to its long-term business proposition of being the world's leading financial center for international company and corporations. What was a very successful model in terms of popularity with the international business community and revenues for the government is now facing change on a scale which has not been seen before. The UK, the EU, the OECD, and others are all pressing international financial centers like the BVI to be more transparent and provide more information. And the BVI has done more than most in putting in place the legal and administrative framework to cooperate with competent authorities and governments and to meet their legitimate and reasonable demands for information. But the cost and impact of these changes cannot be underestimated. It's changing the way our businesses operate and calls for us to shift our marketing and development focus. All will be aware of the McKinsey report, which the Premier referred to, and the guidance that gives us on the necessary changes that we have to make. All of our competitors are in the same boat, Cayman, Bermuda, the Channel Islands, and others, are all revamping their industries to meet these new challenges, and the BVI is no different. This new BVI finance structure is one step in what is likely to be a long journey of frequent change and increasing regulatory burden. In order to keep and increase our share of what is in fact a valuable and worthwhile industry, despite what the international press may have their readers think, it is a valuable and worthwhile industry, and we have to use our resources wisely and be constantly aware that others would very much like to make inroads into what the BVI has built. So by creating this new BVI finance, the government and the private sector acknowledge that we have to be nimble, creative, and aggressive in promoting our services. In more formally joining forces, we expect we can move more quickly and efficiently to promote and/or defend our industry. We cannot do this in isolation, of course, and one of our jobs is to make sure the community is well informed and aware of what we are doing. And we plan to do just that. And we ask those who hold this country dear to their heart to take the time to learn as much as they can about what is happening to financial services both here and internationally. Only with broad support for the industry and the changes that are coming can we be successful. So I thank the Premier and the government for taking this initiative and continuing to provide the major funding, this time along with private sector assistance, which we hope will grow over time as we cement the joint venture which we embark upon today. So we look forward with optimism and confidence to the future. We have a lot of hard work in front of us, but we have a great team, and I think we're going to do the government proud. So thank you again, Premier.
The proceeding was statements from the Premier and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of BVI Finance Limited on the occasion of the signing of the cooperation agreement between the BVI government and the BVI Finance Limited.